I was in the lesbian community, and part of our idea was to organize bisexuals within the lesbian gay community, because the farther I came out, I became a confessional to all these people that were sleeping with the wrong gender. So the farther I came out, I started writing to get visibility, because I knew I wasn't alone, even though nobody's standing around me going, yay, except for a small handful of people. So I started writing, I organized BiPol with a bunch of other people, which so politically we started becoming more visible and loud. And then in 87, there was a March on Washington. Bisexuals were very visible there. There was a pre-March gathering. I walked into that room, and in my gut, I thought, we have a national movement. And part of what happened in that room that day, there was a flyer, are we ready for a national organization? And BiPol, the organization I helped found, our address was on there. Between 87 and 90, or late 80s, we got so much mail saying yes, people sending money, like cash was coming at $500 or $600. And we planned the 1990 conference, National Bisexual Conference. So that was huge, another huge step. And it was during that time that the right wing started recognizing bisexual people. There was a call for another March on Washington with the right wing. You know, we were in their sites. And I realized I'm a good strategist. I didn't know that about myself, but it just made sense to me. It's time. This March, I've been to the last two. We can get our name in the march this time. We're visible enough. We're organized enough. We have enough visible people in big cities around the country. I organized a 12-city endorsement campaign, and I wrote up this little thing. It's time for bisexuals to be recognized. We're being included in the veterans organization. We're being included in campus groups. You know, I just made the list, and it's time. And then I organized on phone 12 cities and had people go get signatures from well-known people, lesbian and gay people, because my idea was, the strategy was, is that they've been doing a lot of talk, but they haven't done any walking at all. It's time for them to put their name on a piece of paper that says it's time to endorse, that for bisexual to be in the name of the March on Washington. And we were successful, but we had to remove sexual from it. So when you see it, it's the 1993 March on Washington for lesbian, gay, and bi equal rights and liberation. They couldn't deal with sexual. What is our movement about? Sexual liberation, hello. But they couldn't deal, no, we got to take the sexual out. So got the buy-in, and so bisexuals were active in every city. We were carrying the banner in the front. We were on the stage, the small day stage, and I was asked to be a speaker for the day. There were 18 speakers of the day. Guess which one I was? 18. I was supposed to go on at 5:30, and it was 6:45. And I still wasn't up. I'm going in to look in the mirror to see, okay, what, and one of the co-chairs comes to me and says, you have to make your speech 2 minutes. I'm going, what do you, like what? The park is going to turn off the speakers at 7 o'clock. It's after, it's like less than 15 minutes by that time. So I'm furious. Another co-chair comes up and, what's wrong? I said, they just told me my speech is 2 minutes, and she was always an ally. And she said, that's wrong. Let me go see what I can do. And then within 10 seconds, I'm not kidding, they said, you're on. And I get up there, and then Robin Tyler, who I knew from the 80s, West Coast Women Music Festival, gets on her knees to me and says, please make your speech 2 minutes. She goes, we have to shorten your intro. I said, it's 2 sentences. And she wanted one, and I wanted the one that was more radical, saying I had been a housewife, I had identified as a lesbian, and and I'm bisexual now. The media tent had already collapsed. There was no media, the press. So I walk up there, and I had, a 5-minute speech isn't that long, and I knew it was a little too long, and I just trusted myself to edit as I went. It was longer than 2 minutes. But as she's introduced, like people are leaving the stage. This is the musical group Minaj is leaving. I'm walking up. Robin is at the podium introducing me, and I'm on. That's maybe a minute and a half after I was told. I mean, seriously, it was that quick. And I just said, aloha, it ain't over till the bisexual speaks. And then I launched into my speech. And they were breaking down the stage around me. The March on Washington and getting our name in that title at that time was we were at that national table. Before the March on Washington in 93, the build up to that was, the religious right, radical right, was targeting gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender people. And yet the lesbian and gay movement could not recognize us. They didn't recognize us as part of the movement. It's just completely frustrating. I think it's important that the B and T got added to LGBT because it represented all the work that had come before, but it doesn't mean that everybody understands B or T at all, and what the connections are and what the history is, and especially the history. My whole life, my organizing, my activism, it's all of us. And I'm so glad I'm mentoring, and there's so many young bisexuals coming up, and transgender people, and pansexuals, and sexuals, and fluids, and whatever you want to call yourself. Yes, do it. Just push it. Push it all. Please.